Hey everyone, it's Darren Benson with Performance Motor Coaches in Wolford, Texas. This will be our final video for the day, but it was a good day for doing some videos. It's been extremely rainy out here in West Texas, much needed rain out here where it always seems to be blowing and always seems to be dry. So this is a sold unit. It's a 2024 Classic CMR. What's pretty unique about this is some things we've done in the past that the powers that be at Renegade didn't want to offer anymore, but we finally just nudged them enough, wore on them enough to get them to kind of see our thoughts on maybe the way we like to design something or do something a little bit different. But so this started as a stock unit. We did some changes for the customer to kind of accommodate his needs and wants and wishes. Pretty good collaboration on what we initially started with, coupled with what he wanted as kind of a finished product. So we've done several coaches this color. So this is an Audi metallic gray. The darker, wouldn't say bronzish, but it's more of a just a darker metallic gray. We've done some just with the standard polished package on the outside. Most of them we've taken and upgraded to basically a blackout package. So do the steps, American Racing wheels, do all the black plastic, we'll do the black grille up front. So you got upper, lower grille, and you also have the intake pieces. These are all Freightliner parts that we just simply take and get swapped out. Does have the bunk over. That was a big deal for the customer. He wanted to bunk over. So traditionally a Classic, most of our Classics will be built with a bunk over, and then the customers wanting an aero cap generally will be more the XL lineup. So we've done a few upgrades here. Josh, one of the service guys here in the shop, does most of this, does a great job, comes up with unique little things. This customer wanted to be able to access hot and cold water. So rather than doing it in the wet bay, we just simply brought it right here. This is a panel that basically comes from the factory. We just take and tap into this to be able to have heated water, and then you can technically use this guy. He's going to hook up a power washer to it. Got a little water in there, kids. But basically, that will take and go into that connection, and the customer can use that to wash his vehicle off. It'll be nice heated water. Sometimes we've done a power washer within the bay. Did the satellite. Traditionally, we've been doing the satellites just shipped loose because a lot of customers are doing Starlink. We need to double check and make sure he doesn't need that up on the roof, but everything is already wired. It's ready to go up and be installed. We generally you'll see a few different 110 connections within each bay to be able to plug tools, power tools in. Maybe electric bike you take and plug it in outside. And of course, outdoor TV. It's still locked. American Racing's out back. We did the underglow underneath the slides and the coach itself. Big 3/4 pass-through. Of course, that's all the blackout stuff. I guess that's the chrome stuff that was taken, swapped out. A lot of times we'll give that to the customer. Central vac back here. There's a port that's inside the cab, underneath the bed. You have a port in there as well. Out back, we just took and pulled the glad hands off the back. Just kind of cleaned it up there. That's what I'll take and pull one of them. You'll get an idea of what it looks like. So rather than having this kind of big monster thing hanging on the back, take and cap it off. Just clean up the back of the coach a little bit. There again, very convertible hitch. 2.5 basically receivers, and then you have adapters to be able to put different things in, flat toe with a 2.5 inch, or the ball setup. Does have the upgraded lights on the back, so basically add another set of tail lights down below. You get the vertical lights. Transfer switch, and then there is a 50 amp plug within that wet bay, or within that electrical bay, to be able to plug in a trailer. 12.5 generator. So very clean wet bay. You do have a whole house water filter there. You have this little gizmo that's worthless, but you do have this guy to be able to take and put water on board or just use it as constant water inside the coach. So 75-gallon gray and black there. There is a macerator pump in that bay. And then 4 big lithiums with a dual Victron 3000 watt inverters. So the center AC will be hooked into the inverter. A guy could take and integrate either the front or the rear, kind of depending upon what their wishes or wants. Factory equipped Sears seating that have been recovered at Renegade. A few little functions and features within that seat. Single 120-gallon fuel tank on board. Does have the diamond shield, which is like a clear bra protection on the front of the coach. Tri-mark, which is basically not only is it a handle, but it's designed to lock your entrance and then lock all of your baggage doors as well. Taking a turn. We generally run the fans just to kind of clear the air. On new coaches, they kind of get a little stuffy inside. You smell some of the clear coat on the cabinets, but I want to highlight these big picture windows. There was I guess probably like a 2-year hiatus whenever Renegade just put their foot down and said, we're not doing big picture windows anymore. Really could never get a clear explanation on why the heck they were so adamant about it. I just kind of like the look of it, looking all the way outside. Of course, you lose a little bit of storage, but there's a fair amount of storage within this coach elsewhere. I always felt like you couldn't put too much in them, so obviously personal preference, but it is an option now. So we could option it with just the big picture window here and cabinets there. I kind of like to be able to see out this window as well. The cool thing for 2025, we're going from a 48-inch wide window to a 56-inch wide window. So regardless of whether the big picture windows or not, they will be a little bit wider window. The Lambright theater seats here. So the nice thing about the Lambright is you can basically sit on it like a couch and then be able to plop that down and use it as theater seats. There's electric there. The escape hatch over to the top here, and then you do have a window and then a cabinet. The bunk over is essentially 60 inches wide by 80 inches long, so essentially just a regular home queen sheet set will fit this. Does have the cab cut out. I still don't know why they take and pull this out, because no one ever really pulls them out. Why you could even pull them out. I just like the opening to be able to walk in and out of. A lot more easily entrance into the cab. Another big picture window right here. Of course, televator. Various plugs will have the USB and the USB-Cs within them. So all these cabinets right here, a lot of people will have us take and do, like if you wanted any additional drawers, we could take and add additional drawer sets within that. But all the cabinets are all, catch the edge of this, they're all dovetail. And this we went ahead, just because of the big giant picture windows, we wanted to kind of have the wow factor of the electric window shades. So nice big pantry right here. Like I said, there's a ton of storage within the kitchen. You got this, and then you got some other cabinets back behind as well. No storage because all your Fireflies there, and the electrical is right down here. But you do have a big panel up here, so in general, when we do Starlink, we'll take and add it up there. So it does have the all wood entry, so you don't see any of the vinyl within the entry. Got the coat hooks here. Stacked washer dryer. And I don't know if I can cut this big enough where you can see in here. So all convertible shelving there. This does not have close bar, but one could be easily added within that compartment. So it's been a while since I've talked about this, so let me close this and kind of talk about what's some things that are a little bit different at Renegade. So you can see that little valve set within that. Basically, that is designed to be able to turn your water off, your hot and your cold, to your washer dryer. So a lot of manufacturers, you'll either have to pull a panel off the wall here, you'll have to take and pull out your washer dryer. It's a pain. I actually think about this. They have a little pedestal that they get, and they powder coated that the valves go into, and the valves turn on and off. There's actually somebody thought about doing this, and the better way to do it and to take and clean it up and make it a little bit nicer and neater. That's generally something you don't see in the RV industry. So I just wanted to kind of highlight stuff like that. You do have a water line within that to be able to shut off for your ice maker on the other side that goes through the floor and then back up. So we've not installed them all yet. We generally take and put a bypass. The issue with the macerator toilets is to keep themselves from overflowing, because technically you can overflow the macerator toilets into your black tank and then push your black waste all the way out of your ceiling. We find with these, right about 50 or 60%, they start throwing errors basically as full. So it's nice to be able to take and bypass those. So we'll go through, put a bypass switch on all of the toilets so you can still use them. Just got to be somewhat careful. So the manual shades in each bath, and then the day shades are always manual. So 66-inch wide bed. You do have two 75-gallon water tanks below the bed itself. Take and pop this up. There again, I want to talk about something a little bit different that we do. We've not, Josh was actually in the middle of this earlier. We have not hooked this all the way up, but basically we take and put the shower miser. So I'm able to order the Renegades from the factory with a piece of PEX that basically terminates here and terminates within the wall, and we take and put a shower miser inside. So I'll get in here, you can see this. So the only thing that's added, of course, we do it in the brushed nickel to match. So basically you can take and bypass this, and then whenever it gets to temperature, this will illuminate and let you know that you have nice warm water. So instead of turning your shower on and waiting for the warm water to get from the aqua, which obviously you saw all the way up at the very front right compartment, to get here, you can take and bypass that water, push it to your water tank until it gets warm, be able to conserve a fair amount of water. It's not been used, I promise. I put it in here myself last week for it's an emergency, but it's never been used. Take and open up this guy. All the shelves are convertible here, adjustable. We'll take and do the other bypass here. There again, adjustable shelves. That is manual, and you'll notice just the Max Air fan. You don't have any type of a skylight there. Things that break, let water in, and let a lot of heat in as well. So cedar line closet. This does open up, and like I said, kind of throughout time they've done more latches and safety mechanisms within that, because some of these were opening and causing a pretty big mess whenever they were opening. But between these guys and these guys, I've not had any issues. So down below here you have all the pull-out drawers, and then these are pull-out cabinet, or these opening cabinets right here. We did not take and change this up. The customer did not option Starlink in this yet, but a lot of times whenever customers do Starlink, they get rid of any kind of AV equipment. But if the customer wanted to take and change this out to a regular door after the fact, to be relatively easy, just essentially just change out the sides of it. So all pocket doors within the bathrooms, very easy, take and operate. You know, in regards to kind of what's coming up different on the 2025 Classic, really there's not much. You know, the colors are going to stay the same. Classic's been a very traditional seller. You know, the consumers that buy these things aren't looking for the latest, greatest. Very coach that kind of transcends time. So even though this is a 24, the 25s really won't change from here on out. Just minor little things that we'll, you know, basically see in the months to come. So all heated tile floors. There's not too many things, you know, in regards to amenities, I don't think this coach has. You know, it's an option to take and do the backlit countertops. It kind of reminds me of like a cheap Vegas hotel room. Sorry if you already have that in your coach and you think it's cool, but that's about the only thing that I don't do. I don't do a lot of the power shades, just preference-wise, but just due to the fact of these big giant picture windows, it kind of just made sense to be able to take and do that. Really kind of just, what's the word I'm thinking of? Kind of showcase the big picture windows. You know, kind of a wow factor whenever you walk inside. But happy with the way everything turned out. Happy for the customer to be coming up here, I guess, in 2 more days to pick up his coach. He's been really excited. I think he's going to be a big fan of our shop and service center here. Look forward to him coming up here, enjoying this coach, getting this coach out on the road. Like all the colors inside and out, turned out really good with the custom paint and also the blackout package. But appreciate you guys coming out watching these videos. We'll have 2025s coming in months to come. Not anything the very 1st of June. We have a few other Peterbilts that will be ready. We have some Peterbilts that are open as well. So if you were a truck guy and want a 589, we do have some of those. But lots of things are still going on in the coach world. Feel free to visit us here in Wolfforth, or if you guys are out and about this summer and want to do a tour there at the factory and kind of see how they're built, be able to meet some of the people within the plant. It's always a good trip to be able to come out and check everything out at the factory and get a little bit better idea of what's going on. But make sure you guys keep on coming back. Make sure you guys like, tag, and subscribe.